Merah.
Wow.
Nah,
Apaan bacaannya?
merah. Banji.
Apaan bacaannya?
Tenang, tenang. Tenang. Itu nggak ada yang bahas. Ya, gue ngulang dari awal dong. Omega lul.
Nggak di save.
Soalnya bangkrut gue.
Beliin Dins buat gue Dins.
Apaan? Iyalah kodek saya sih.
Gue maunya yang asli.
Udah asli, tapi betul beliin.
Iya. Loh.
Sampai.
Wah anjir coy.
Apa sih?
Langsung balik coy.
Kenapa?
Sama Steam langsung hilang. Hello, we found some unusual activity on your account and temporarily locked it. I verified that there is nothing wrong with the account and removed the restriction.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Wah anjir, udah tenang Ams. Udah bisa tenang.
Ditroll sama ini.
Ditroll sama Gaben lo anjir.
Omega lul.
Ditroll sama Gaben lu sumpah.
Iya, di troll lagi buat anjir.
Actual troll.
Makanya, kok bisa? Kayaknya gue aman-aman aja.
Enggak, masalah kalau dia nggak aman, apalagi gue ntaran. Takut gue.
Ya, kita nontonin lagi ya.
Ya, Stewie.
The reason why I picked him is because he doesn't think. I want a bunch of non-thinkers.
Reason why I pick it because he doesn't think. I want a bunch of non-think.
What do you make of this guy's Q2K? Because I hear lots of things about him.
Kok itu layarnya kan double power.
Some kind of onlineries and that.
Iya, War. Kenapa?
Huh?
I've watched him play some FPL, but I always think that's deceptive.
And what a lot of people have seen him for some time is just his insane individual skill. So he's proven with this individual skill that he can not only compete, but he's actually superior to a lot of the players currently on professional teams.
It happens all the time.
Duh, udah keluar live streamnya.
And in pugs in 10 months they're insane and they play the most
Tag Joko tuh dia mau nonton katanya.
Oh iya, bentar.
Udah keluar. Udah keluar. Tidak.
bullshit. This guy would never do this online.
Ay, santuy.
Tahu, lu santai aja. Ntar juga baru mulai anjing kok jelek basi seasonnya gitu.
Iya, pasti.
Iya.
Kan gue enggak.
Sejauh ini gue netralin ekspektasi gue. Tidak ada apa-apa. Oke.
I ain't going anywhere near Stewie.
Oh my god, he's Stewie. Also, I got a question. Does anyone know who the yellow texts are? Like the one who says Stewie.
Ntar dibolehin lu dengerin sama Banji.
Oh my god.
Kayaknya
This guy
emang
right
nggak boleh top up lebih.
Who's that? Does anyone know who that is?
Lebih
Wait,
daripada
so-
umumnya.
so-
ya.
Lo emang top up berapa
Lu
anjing?
pernah top up berapa cuy?
10 juta gitu.
Agak gue top up
Buset,
sampai
10
1,8. 2 kali 900.000.
Ya jelas
Lah,
dia bingung lah.
I ain't going anywhere near Stewie.
Enggak, tapi seharusnya kalau misalkan transaksinya nembus ya nggak ada masalah dong.
Iya. Cuman kayaknya di tag sama botnya ini fraud coy.
Gini,
Kok masih
awalnya di ini nggak dihitung fraud soalnya kan kayak 902 kali. Pas
Iya.
baru kena gitu.
Soalnya gue langsung bilang, does it have to do with my earlier wallet total today in my country currency Rp 900.000? Terus gue gituin kan, if it is my transaction history aja. Gue udah pusing aja tuh.
Lo takut lah itu akun lu udah berapa?
Ya,
Berapa ratus
akun
juta
gue udah
aja?
ratusan kan itu aja. Gue nangis sih gue.
Iya sih kalau account gue kena kayak lu terus kelok gue bete sih, gue nangis sumpah, gue nangis. itu gue udah invest game banyak banget cuy di situ.
Iya cuy, nih game gue ada 371. Gue nggak tahu tuh yang berapa semua, yang harga 600-an ribu sama yang enggak. Belum DLC, belum apa nama item in game-nya. Gue nangis kalau gue kayak anjing, gue udah bingung anjing, gue tadi main AoE aja nggak jelas anjing tadi. Ayo.
Soalnya lu kepikiran.
Ini Banji tumben banget
Udah kan, udah aman kan?
Ngapa?
Aman.
ngepost
Udah,
gambar
udah.
banyak banget anjir.
Udah itu hoax itu gambar.
Banji yang ngepost.
Oh, di Twitternya. Gue biar aman, gue restart isi lah, gue takut ada
Wah, tinggal 15 menit. Hype as fuck. Tapi nanti hype itu akan hilang kalau kecewa.
Sebenernya gampang sih, tinggal meras muncul aja udah itu. Udah, bener.
Gue sih masih pengen
pemasangan memori itu 13 sama 24.
Thanks for donation, bro.
Apa?
Ya, slot 13.
Kalau di situ bebas sih. Cuman kalau di realnya itu port 2 sama 4 dulu harusnya.
Oh. Kalau di sini bebas.
Bebas. Mau lu pasang berapa.
Cool.
Gue udah nyoba sama aja, nggak ada beda. Tapi kalau di real world mah 24 harusnya.
Feels bad si Day sudah retire ya.
Gue pesen makan deh.
Siapa retire?
Days.
Gojek.
Dewa.
Nggak terlalu excited gue sama reviewnya sekarang.
Kenapa, Kos?
Nggak terlalu excited banget.
Nah, tidur.
Kalau Parasaf keluar,
Enggak, soalnya realistisnya Banji sekarang nggak sama studio lain kan gitu loh. Dia independen sekarang gitu. Jadi gue gak expect banyak sama dia. Sebenarnya plusnya itu kalau sendiri dia bisa kembangin terserah dia, nggak bergantung sama ini kan.
Nggak ada deadline dari bosnya.
Iya, deadline gitu. Ya, cuman gue berharap Banji cerdas aja lah gitu aja di nah harusnya semoga aja sedikit cerdas gitu ngatasin resource-nya gitu lah habis ini.
PS5 3 tahun lagi, 3 hari lagi ya?
Iya, yang awal 11 Juni. Iya. Setelah diundur kemarin. Gua aja
mau
diundur lagi.
Mau 3 hari lagi juga masuk Indo, paling akhir tahun.
Lama cuy, masuk ke sini lama.
Makanya, paling akhir tahun.
Target marketnya tuh Indonesia tuh ke nomor berapa cuy?
Ya, ngeplay Destiny review.
Anjir, gua tadi start di loading screen lama banget, terus pas masuk settingan gua reset semua.
Apaan?
Valorant.
Bug lagi. Gue kemarin kayak gitu juga, Kai.
Oh.
Terus gue kayak fuck it lah.
Ya, stuck di loading screen kan?
Iya.
Ya.
Lu aneh gak sih McD sama KFC di Malang gak buka-buka malam-malam?
Ya, wajar aja PSBB. Kan juga baru mulai minggu kemarin.
Di kota lain enggak, kita itu udah nggak ada wacana PSBB, kita udah normal.
Serius lo?
Seriusan.
Karyawannya kan?
Ya berarti itu dari manajemennya.
Ya mungkin mereka mikir nggak ada gunanya mereka buka sampai malam. Nggak ada pelanggannya. Kalau sini kan.
Seingat gue masih PSBB soalnya tempat gue kemarin ke temen ayah gua yang buka warung kopi gitu gede. Jam 9 disuruh tutup mati.
Oh, iya berarti benar. Pemerintah daerahnya itu. Bogor juga gitu kok. Malam jam berapa ya terakhir itu buka?
Destiny di Twitch.
See, the funny part is you're on the same bandwagon. Yeah, I wasn't even siding with
Ray, emang temen lu dapat source dari mana? Gua tanya dah.
Race tadi.
Keep doing you, bro.
Tadi kayak ada deh.
Donate all you want.
Tapi lu pakai aja.
Bupati.
Oh.
Makanya anaknya Papati dong ya.
Pasti Badrin.
Udah lagi enak diem gitu kan, senyap lagi.
Jadi kayak anaknya Papati terus kayak diem gitu.
Guys,
no.
Let's go guys.
Let's go guys. Gak jadi.
Let's go. Wario, ini mana YouTube?
YouTube.
War,
YouTube.
Wah, keren.
YouTube.
History, kalem.
Udah senang-senang aja pot of glass dong.
Bener kan?
Iya.
Pot of glass.
Baru.
Enggak cuy, itu kan yang kemarin-kemarin.
Iya, dan satu.
Enggak, ini kata dong.
Udah gue main lagi Kronoset, parah.
Ini tahunnya 2014 ya?
Iya.
History ya nih.
Bilang dari tadi anjir.
Pukul.
Ribut.
Nggak bisa bilang Februari lanjut soalnya dulu. Iya harus diem dulu baru kita lanjut.
Terus apa?
Harus diem dulu sih.
Suara dari tambah lagi gitu.
Gak apa-apa gua sambil
Suara kayak gitu.
Bacot anjing.
Nggak ada yang bawain mas.
King's Fall.
Ini paling stres.
Keluarin lagi dong install.
Bang, lawan Norwich stres buat gue.
Tapi dengan rate kagak ada daripada ampas. Bener.
Iya, kalau keluarin rate asal jangan dipaksain aja.
Iya, asal mending gak usah kali.
WOTM rate paling seru.
Mesin itu yang Siva ya?
Siva ya. Di YouTube gak ada chatnya, live chat.
Ada.
Yang dari manjinya.
Gua ada.
Chat is disable.
Sini aja di Warrior Game.
Oh, real.
Dennis F.
Beda, aku sama kamu beda sedikit.
Siapa ini Dennis? Siapa Dennis?
Leviathan.
Paling Arcil siapa lagi?
Iya, Arcil itu.
Leviathan.
Guilty.
Weh, terus berarti Arcil name reveal dong berarti udah.
Dennis.
Mau pasaran mas.
Semuanya aja name reveal.
Dennis di Indonesia mah bukan nggak pasaran cuy. Ya pasaran tuh Lutfi.
Peter of War.
Itu siapa? Arvino Bahmi.
Mir.
It's certainly difficult to be away from all the folks that you work with day to day. You know,
Ini
it's kind of
kenapa
like a family.
name reveal semua ada? Omega lo, what
Ini
the fuck?
namanya ngapa aneh-aneh anjir? Padahal nama asli tapi dibilang aneh-aneh tadi banget.
Wow.
When you look at the number of things we were able to accomplish in a pretty
Bacot.
all the skills, all levels of the company.
The first case of a new potentially deadly virus has been confirmed in the United States, and it's right in our own backyard.
Given the explosion of the COVID-19 virus in our state and globally, I will sign a statewide executive proclamation later today, temporarily shutting down entertainment and recreational facilities.
Well, it really started for us back in February. We're starting
Gua nunggu ada donasi dari Pak Rijal aja nih.
We went from first time I'd ever heard the phrase social distancing before to the entire studio working from home in a matter of a couple of weeks.
Oh, pakai summary ya.
It was scary. It was kind of chaotic. A lot of
Tapi
uncertainty.
cuman
we had to
yang paling keren
rise to
cuma
this
Lutfi doang.
challenge and
Sama
go
Discord
from a
kayak
studio
nama
all
Steam
working
kayak
in
Lutfi
person
gitu.
day to day to working distributed all over the Puget Sound region. We developed a 5-phase plan driven by 5 priorities, and the top priority for us was employee safety. So very quickly it was developing a plan so we could get our
parah banget yang belum subscribe sih.
ensuring that the day-to-day experience of playing Destiny was available for all of our players.
Is there anything confusing or unclear so far?
No, so far everything has been very clear.
Something that's very particular about Destiny is that
There's lots of
we do
IDs
work
like this.
on Bungie machines to make sure that we keep certain aspects of Destiny secure. And so, in order to do that, we had to look at provisioning up to 400 laptops, which was a huge number for us.
We have artists, we have designers, we have writers, we have engineers, testers. There's so many different workflows that require specific technology.
Video disturbing. Orang konten orang ini. Hey.
IT was the one getting burned the most.
Woi, Japala, woi, Japala.
Just one avenue that they understood was put in a ticket, and our queues just blew out of control.
Normally, our ticket workload for a month is between 700 and 800 tickets.
Siapa ini Muhammad Fadlan? GB-in Ghost dong.
1,400 tickets.
The IT team was incredible through this. I mean, it was one of those moments where a team that's often behind the scenes.
Hey, Buma!
Our guys, they're willing to stay all through the
Woi, Bang Pijel.
I mean, it's the best team I've ever worked with, and I could not be prouder to stand by their sides.
You got it.
As we started to get in a position where we were operational day to day, we asked ourselves,
Ragiru Senpai.
Ragiru Senpai.
Ragiru Senpai.
Really busy, hard at work, and we wanted to make sure that our families taken care of in that time.
So we asked ourselves, well, what can we do for kids in the area? So we actually partnered with Boys and Girls Club in the area to help provide food.
Mau coba dari Twitch, oke.
They are serving about 500 meals per day, and at this point, since the middle of March, that actually equates to about 30,000 meals that we provided for families in the Bellevue community.
Oh iya, astagfirullahaladzim.
Able to use our infrastructure to support that, and then of course the huge effort.
In that period of time, and we've already reached our goal, which is really exciting.
One thing that's really become clear to me is how much we're all driven by that mission of we create worlds that inspire friendship. And I think it also says something about how much everyone cares about each other here.
The fact that they are willing to put their money where their mouth is to support the quality of life of the individuals that work for the studio.
I think Bungie is amazing. I look at the situation that other people are in. People are getting laid off. Can't
Ulim.
Bungie's made this commitment.
Bang Ulim.
Each one of us.
Kok diem-diem aja sih?
I want to say thank you to the entire studio. I had the great privilege to be part of this awesome team. I can't say enough about that.
The thing that I've learned the most from this is doing the right thing, prioritizing people's health and well-being has a rippling effect. I think that we'll see that in the game, and I think we'll see that in the community for years to come.
Udah pas ya.
Ini right now viewersnya lebih banyak dari Valorant.
Iya, tapi nanti pas udah kelar, udah mulai seasonnya, tinggal 7.000 lagi viewersnya anjing. Sedih banget. Boo, trials boo.
Itu di Twitter juga boo.
War katanya Dinsby matiin suara di Discord.
Bingung.
Itu namanya Season of Arrival tuh.
Iya kan emang gitu.
Anjir, gua kira Adidas, coy.
Quiet ya.
Quiet.
Udah semua gue mute dulu ya.
Ya, di-mute semua aja Pak, gak apa-apa Pak. Di-mute semua aja.
Kalau Arab sih gue mute server langsung.
Coy, season baru coy, soal coy. Diam. Udah mulai.
Let's go! Woo! Ya, 8 menit.
George Floyd.
Oke.
Oke.
Mute.
Apa moment of silence Mas ya.
Anjir gue masih lihat videonya terus bayangin anjir.
Udah nggak ngeko ya?
bacot lagi memang.
I'm Mark Noseworthy. I'm the Destiny 2 General Manager.
I'm Luke Smith, and I'm the Destiny 2 Game Director.
Before we started the show today, we wanted to just acknowledge the circumstances and the unprecedented times we're in. This is not how we had planned this several months ago to talk about the future of Destiny 2 and reveal where we're headed with the team. You know, this show's not how we planned it. We're building the game, not how we planned it, from our living rooms and, you know, basements and with our kids and our dogs and all sorts of stuff on our laps while we're trying to make this game.
Yeah, there's like an inherent weirdness to this. Even the weirdness of, you know, this is the first time I've seen you in person in the last like probably 3 months, and I don't know if people know, but outside of the show that is work, like those are actually pretty close. Like we hang out, we talk all the time. Our significant others are buddies, like, and so. You know, it's super weird just to see you in person.
Yeah, not on a screen.
Yeah, not on this little like Zoom screen on an iPad or something. Like it's just totally bizarre.
Yeah.
This is not how we envisioned this, and certainly our hope was that it would be more than just us two talking about this stuff. And over the course of the summer, a bunch more folks from the team are gonna talk about what we're up to and what we're gonna be up to.
Let's get the show started.
Go guys.
This is what I brought you here to see.
So, Luke, is it finally time to explain?
You know, listen, like some jerk said that we were done with the Stranger's story, and as you get back into Destiny and you keep like looking around and finding stones to uncover, a character who says that she's not forged in light, and where the two of you meet, ground can break, becomes a pretty interesting tool to leverage here in Destiny 2 Beyond Light and going forward. You know, it is the beginning of a brand new era in Destiny 2. This fall, you're going to discover Europa, a brand new destination, and one of the first destinations we envisioned long ago when Destiny began. This is the birthplace of the Exo and the site of a newly active pyramid ship. As a player, you're going to face Aramis, a fallen warrior wielding a brand new power born from a very ancient darkness.
Like you, Aramis is a leader, but unlike you, she seeks revenge against the Traveler for scattering her people's once great houses to the cosmic winds.
It's up to you to confront Aramis and her growing empire on the frozen battlegrounds of Europa. And it's up to you to go beyond and discover long dormant secrets hidden beneath the surface in places lost to time, like
the Deep Stone Crypt.
Yes, there you go.
That one I
Lore
heard
Corner.
Of. That one I heard of, yeah.
Doing it. There's a lot more to Europa than you might imagine. And here's your first look at gameplay from Destiny 2 Beyond Light.
Where I come from, the Darkness won. I have witnessed this firsthand. I refuse to let it happen again. The line between light and dark is so very thin. Let's cross it together. I will give these Guardians the destruction they crave.
Man, it's time to wield the darkness. We've been waiting. Destiny 2 Beyond Light ships to all currently supported platforms on September 22nd this year. And it kicks off a new era in Destiny where players will discover the true nature of the light and the dark. Not just walking the thin line between, but wielding the darkness itself as a weapon with stasis.
And we did just get like a very brief look at that today. And, you know, obviously we're going to end up showing more throughout the course of the summer. And the other thing is stasis, this new power, isn't just going to be Guardian supers and abilities. It's a brand new damage type. So that means it's going to ultimately sit alongside Solar, Arc, and Void as the first new element we've introduced to the game since the original Destiny release way back in 2014.
This is a big deal. Like, it's a big deal to add this to the universe. Like, it changes everything.
And it's a lot of work. Today, yeah, you got a glimpse of this new power, and it's definitely the pursuit and acquisition and the player's ability to wield it. It's something that's going to be woven in through the narrative of the game. Like, the game is kind of a collision course between you and Aramis, and we're going to show you a bunch more about stasis later in the year.
Because though we're excited about what we're delivering this fall, we did say that Destiny 2 Beyond Light was the beginning of a new era.
What does that mean? Well, it means that we're thinking about Destiny beyond just any given year and thinking about it over time. And so we want to take a look into kind of the long future of Destiny. But when you want to look ahead, like we're about to do, it all starts back at the beginning.
We called it the Traveler, and its arrival changed us forever.
Eyes up, Guardian.
You must push back the darkness. Guardians are fighting on Earth and beyond. Join them.
6 of us went down into the pit. In the end, they all bowed before me. We have slain his brood. We have murdered his son. And now the Taken King comes for us all.
We thought we were indestructible.
You're not brave. You've merely forgotten the fear of death. I am Gaul. And your light is mine. Without the light, are we even guardians anymore?
We should have been there.
Any last words? I'm coming home, Ace. So, this is to be a reckoning.
Free me.
How long has it sat in silence, watching us? It seems those responsible for our collapse are coming back.
We've been waiting.
We are your salvation.
The line between light and dark is so very thin. Do you know which side you're on?
A side should always be taken. Even if it's the wrong side.
We are building Destiny's future today, right inside of Destiny 2. It starts with Beyond Light coming this fall.
It's going to continue with the next major expansion, The Witch Queen, and Lightfall is going to kind of drive this all to a moment. These 3 releases represent this new era in Destiny. These eras began really in 2014 with that era of light where, players entered Destiny for the first time. They were resurrected. They went to the tower. They learned about the things the children were scared of. And, we exited that era when we became Guardians.
We are now coming out of an era of loss of our powers, one of our mentors, our innocence, and soon we will be entering an era of darkness. And if it's not clear, we are all in on Destiny 2.
Last year, we laid out a vision for the game that we wanted to build the definitive action MMO, place it in an awesome evolving world that you can play anytime, anywhere with your friends. We are still completely committed to this ambitious vision, and we're going to continue reaching to deliver it in Destiny 2. And to be clear, listen, I'm sure like over here in the Twitch chat, there's like, some mix of salt and space dad. We haven't gotten everything right out of the gate. For example, we've already begun working on changes that we're going to make to our seasonal model in year 4 to get a bunch of the FOMO that's in the game right now out of it. And this is a response not only to your feedback, but just, we took it in the wrong direction. You can lay that at me. We're also working on things like transmog, and that's going to be an experience that means armor is kind of always valuable to you because it can always represent a look for you to chase. And we've got a bunch of other improvements to the experience that we're working on. Things like the quest log's going to get like another awesome revision. We've got like small touches, like a oft requested one. And I think when we started Beyond Light, this was one that I made to Mike Zach in
getting a dark title screen back in Destiny so that the light white heat of the title screen doesn't light up your entire apartment at 2 a.m. So there are the small features, but then there's also some big features, and maybe one of the biggest is next generation support.
I think one of the most exciting things we're going to talk about is the game's going to run at 60 frames per second and 4K resolution on the new hardware.
We're also really happy to say that whatever content you already own or will own in Destiny 2 will come with you to your next generation console of choice at no extra charge. On PlayStation, you'll be able to upgrade to PlayStation 5 for free, and on Xbox, we will support smart delivery also for free. In plain English, this means if you own Destiny 2 expansion content on those platforms now or in the future, or by Beyond Light in September, you can keep playing on the same family consoles for free without buying the expansions again. We think that's going to be awesome. And you don't have to worry about busting up your friends list either, because we're going to support intergenerational crossplay within each console platform ecosystem as well.
Crossplay?
This means that if your brother's playing on PS4 and your sister's playing on PS5, all three of you can play together. And we're going to do the same thing in the Xbox ecosystem. This year we're focused on intergenerational play. Hopefully next year we can finally do the thing and get them all playing together in the same ecosystem.
Yes. So Shadowkeep was cool, and Shadowkeep brought back the moon and upgraded and enhanced it. And so we brought a destination out of the vault and, spruced it up, and that's where you got to play. We're not doing that with this fall's destination, Europa. It's a brand new place you've never been before. And both the Witch Queen and Lightfall are going to also include brand new, never before seen destinations. These expansions will stretch out across a timeline that's going to bring much anticipated enemies to the forefront and hopefully deliver some twists, turns, drama that we don't think anyone's going to see coming.
But to deliver these big content beats each and every year and keep building on top of our seasonal experiences while making technological leaps forward, we also need to make some big changes to the way we treat some of our older legacy content.
The stuff that maybe is getting a little long in the tooth that you're not really looking at and playing anymore. You're not.
Destiny 2 is a huge game. We have 9 destinations, 40 story missions, 54 adventures, 42 lost sectors, 17 strikes, 31 PvP maps, 7 raids, and hundreds of game systems that layer on top of that. I could go on, and I probably screwed up one of those numbers. The fact is, the game is too large to efficiently update and maintain. We're on track to be like 115 gigabytes on PlayStation alone, and our updates to the game are huge, and we're starting to reach the limits of our ability to patch.
We don't want to start over from scratch and build a sequel. And in order to make a sequel, we would have to stop supporting Destiny 2. Like, it would effectively go dark.
We talk about a single evolving world, not multiple evolving worlds, but a single evolving world. And we don't want people to have to start over. We don't want to have that loss of continuity with our game systems and our communities and all the players together.
We don't want to put another number on the box. So instead, here's our plan. Each year, just as a new expansion comes out, we're going to cycle older, less actively played activity and destination content out of the live game and into what we're calling the Destiny Content Vault, the DCV. Moving content into this vault is going to allow us to add support for D2 for years, including Beyond Light, the Witch Queen, and Lightfall. This vault is also going to allow us to take content from Destiny 1, do some work on it, get it ready to come back into the Destiny 2 ecosystem. So we're not just going to be taking stuff away, we're also going to be going into the classic vault and kind of bringing some stuff back, or unvaulting activity and destination content each year.
Thinking about the greatest hits of Destiny, right? Like, what are the new tracks we can lay down? What's something from the past that was like pretty cool that could be made even better if it existed today? And what does that look like?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that there's a lot of awesome stuff that the team has built over the 6 years of making Destiny, and that Destiny 2 players totally have missed out on. Like later this year, Destiny 1's Cosmodrome is coming back this fall as a selectable destination. Its 3 strikes are also going to come back during Season 12 and Season 13, and part of the awesome thing here is a bunch of players haven't played Sepix. Sepix was the strike from the beta way back in like summer 2014. It is the oldest,
like the definitive like original strike that we felt like hit the right notes.
Yeah,
in Destiny 1, right? And we left all that behind when we made Destiny 2, and we're saying like we don't want to do that again. Well, let's not do that again, but let's also reach into the past and like bring it into the present.
There's a lot of great content in our past, and maybe this year we'll see a classic raid come back. I think it'd be pretty amazing this year to see the Vault of Glass kind of unvaulted and returned in front of players. Like I can imagine things like champion Praetorians instead of just regular Praetorians, and kind of updating it slightly to the modern context, but still preserving that like classic feel.
This fall when the expansion comes out, not only are we going to be bringing back Cosmodrome and adding Europa, but we're going to look at some of that content that's been in the game for a long time, that's been free, that isn't actively played, and that's when some of that is going to be vaulted.
Well, after the show, we're going to have a much more in-depth article that you can read on our plans for vaulting content on Bungie.net, and why we're taking this unprecedented approach and what it means for the game this year and for the game going forward. We're also going to be conducting a bunch of interviews to answer your big questions, and we will continue the conversation with coverage in our ongoing This Week at Bungie community conversations, as well as there will be a bunch of player support and DPS articles about this all summer long. You know, we've placed a bunch of bets on the Destiny Cosmic board, whether it's the Traveler waking up, whether it's the Stranger dissolving after telling you, there's so much more to explore out there. And so we're going to start to bring a bunch of these threads home, and here's a look at the beginning of those threads coming home to roost this summer in Season of Arrivals.
The Almighty has been reduced to smoldering ash, and with allies like Rasputin, who can stop us?
Will you die, sir?
From Titan to Mercury, their shadow reaches.
Is their message a warning? A trick? We can't know until we hear their words for ourselves. You bring weapons. You will not need them. We offer only truth.
The darkness reached out, but something interferes. The witch sister of the taken king, Savathun.
New dungeon!
We are the final line that halts the second collapse.
Udah lawan Darkus berarti sekarang ya? What is that?
Prepare yourself, Guardian. This battle is not over.
So that's the Season of Arrivals, and it starts any minute now at 10 a.m. Pacific.
So today, we looked at a bunch of stuff. We talked about the Destiny content vault. We looked into the past to see kind of how we got to where we are today. We looked into the far future with the Witch Queen and Lightfall. And we also talked about Beyond Light, which is the beginning of a new era in Destiny 2. And if pre-ordering is kind of your thing, like the pre-orders are going to go live today. Like if you're interested, there's some sweet bonuses, and that's kind of the summary of the show.
If you're excited about the start of Beyond Light and where we're headed, well, the Season of Arrivals, it's kind of like a prelude it's really setting up that story, and so we encourage you to get in and play.
There's one more thing I totally forgot. So today at 5 p.m. Pacific, we're going to launch a brand new dungeon called Prophecy. Prophecy is a dungeon that involves the 9, and that's kind of like all I'm going to say about it, because there's a little bit of business to get to with it, and then we'll wrap. But it's got a brand new set of armor for you to chase. It's got some classic armor for you to chase. It's going to be at a really high power level, which means it's like a solid day's work plus a little bit of skill to summit that mountain.
It's free for all players.
It's free for all players. And we're going to show you a trailer in just a second. If you don't want to see anything from the dungeon, just click the little red X or get up and go make an omelet and then come back and the stream will be over and you can play Season of Arrivals in Destiny 2. And I think that's the business side, right? We're there where we've handled everything.
I think it's the time to say thank you all for tuning in and giving us your time today and just for playing Destiny and being part of this amazing community.
It has and it will continue to be a journey. On behalf of everyone at Bungie, please, please, please stay safe out there. No, we'll see you soon.
Dungeonnya free to play. Armoran main juga cuy. Is that it?
Gue lagi masuk nih.
But what just happened?
Oke, let's talk.
Iya tuh, viewers udah mulai berkurang.
Mari kita bicara. Ayo, mari kita bicara ya.
Oh my
Mari kita berbicara sampai season next
so
launch.
Many things.
Wow.
Launchnya kapan?
Jam 12 kan? Tunggu aja bentar.
Bentar lagi.
Ini tadi tuh.
Oh, nggak ada pembeliannya?
Belum.
Tunggu aja bentar.
Ini tuh. Oke.
Wow.
Power, gimana? Ayo mulai.
Gimana monggo.
Jadi game ini
Kenapa Pak Rifka?
lagi?
Ragil bacot anjay.
Ini masih 2 tahun lagi ya.
Apa year?
Enggak, gua jujur gua nggak masalah nggak ada D3 asalkan bener-bener evolving di game.
Ya bener.
Suaranya jadi double ya?
Suka DLC ketimbang game baru kalau gue sih.
Oh ya, gue masih lihat streaming Warrior kondisi double.
Sama yang arc apa Jok? Nama pedangnya lupa gak? Pedang exotic yang arc.
Dark Drinker.
Bukan, Flashlight Rapi.
Lupa gue nggak pernah.
Itu.
Dungeonnya berarti ya malam ini ya?
Iya.
Yes.
Ya. Atau ada roadmapnya kali gak tau gue.
Dan itu free for all katanya.
Shit.
Which is
dungeonnya ini banget anjir. Itu banget cuy, psychedelic banget gitu.
Iya, itu tadi makanya yang soal
a little bit of pushback from people in chat, and while I do understand that you don't want your video
Damn.
games
Yeah,
ruined,
gue yang tahu
some people
sistem-
did sit and stare at the Almighty, as I
Dan
said on
gua
Twitter,
langsung
for
pindah
hours
streamnya
and
ke
made it out on the other
Lupo.
side okay. So 8
Ntar
minutes
berapa konten bakal
honoring the
ini
life of a man that has begun one of the biggest movements we've seen in equality
Yeah.
is absolutely huge. And
Yang
can never
voting
be
itu sih
overstated. So
bagus banget sih
seriously,
kalau kata
thank
gua.
you to
Bener-bener
you
mirip Warframe sih,
and
tapi nggak
everybody at
apa-apa.
Bungie for doing that.
That's
It,
no such
it
thing
means,
as
I think, more than you guys
copyright.
realize.
Yeah, the team did an awesome job with that. It is a shit
Mau
ton
main
of,
PUBG
to try
lagi,
to get
gila.
back to try to like pull myself back here. It is a shit ton of stuff we put on the table today.
Oh yeah, there's. I even want to say I respect the fact that the back and forth you and Mark side by side. I saw online somebody that was 6'1" laid down between to make sure that there was correct social distancing between the chairs, which was hilarious, but appropriate as well. So.
And it was, I mean, even we didn't do that at Bungie. We ended up going to a studio. There were only like 5 people there. Everyone stayed really far apart. We had masks right up until we sat down and we put them in our pockets.
Ini ada rencana mau grinding apa di sini?
I undersold the Mark thing a little bit. So my only regret from that is like, we're pretty close outside that. Like, no, really not. He's like my best friend. So I cheaped him out a little bit. With my underselling of our romance, if you will.
I'm sure it'll be okay. Now, before we get into the Q&A, I have the Beyond Light reveal trailer up. I wanted to take this opportunity to walk through it because you brought back the Exo Stranger. She's back, and there's a lot of interaction there. So if when you are ready, I'm going to hit play on this, and you talk me through. I won't have the volume all the way up on it. So
yeah, just a little context before we play the video. When we set out to think about this expansion set and where we had been, the massive event in December, the Traveler woke up and kind of you realize
Titan nomor Curie juga.
It's been intentionally dormant because any action would result in this inevitability. And so with Shadowkeep, it was really important to me that we start to pick up that thread. I felt like that was a really big ball to kick and with something like the Stranger and something like Europa, these are really things from I associate with early Destiny. And so another thing that we were looking for even before we hired a director for this piece, it was we want to reach out across all of Destiny's history and kind of pull some stuff together to say, hey, we're moving forward here. And the director we ended up tapping is actually the same director who did the Destiny 1 Mars video. It's a guy named Ilya. We've worked with a bunch over the years, and so anytime there's like a little homage, it's totally intentional, and it's just part of Ilya's genius. So let's roll it.
You got it.
A lot of initial drama here. You can just let it run here. A lot of initial drama about getting the colors right in the pyramid ships because we didn't want them to be too threatening. This shot here with the drifter shot, that is a mirror of that original kind of Destiny 1 intro. You'll see another one of these mirrors here where Eris takes a little tumble. That is exactly meant to mirror the astronaut slipping. So if we pause here on the fire, so I'm a few seconds behind, but
yeah, a little delay. I got it.
Yeah, we were really thinking about how to do the Stranger because we didn't want the reveal to be totally immediate, but we also wanted it to be the kind of thing that the silhouette on her rifle would maybe tip the hand, and we entertained a bunch of different ideas here. There was one great idea from Ilya and his team where she was in an interior kind of like an ancient computer, and that looked awesome. And we ended up going with the fire because the lighting was better for concealing the character in the way that we wanted to.
I think a lot of people saw the gun, and I know I speak for my chat for sure, and kind of went nuts almost instantly as soon as the thing was on screen. Everybody caught that very, very quickly. But yeah, this is the shot that was chosen for this is really solid.
So then another thing we were thinking about was to when we wanted to make things that we created for the trailer kind of available to players. And so I think we've taken some of these things and woven them into pre-order bonuses for the game for Beyond Light this fall, because we do all this work to model these things, and we think it's awesome when players can get their hands on it.
So you're telling me, and for anybody that's misinterpreting that, a number of the things, the ships, the sparrows, that kind of stuff is going to be available as potential pre-order bonuses for Beyond Light and things following that?
Yeah, I don't have it all stored totally in my brain, but I think, I mean, for sure, her weapon, and I believe the sparrow is part of it too.
Okay.
The ship's fucking awesome. We wanted to give the Drifter kind of a different pod. Like, some of the fun of doing stuff like this is, getting to take characters who have really familiar aesthetics and give them something else. Like, I remember Mike and I talking about, like, well, if Eris is going to kind of be trudging through the frozen wilderness here, like, can we give her some, winter gear? Like, kind of, when you see your favorite characters from Star Wars, they have like different wardrobe changes. You're like, oh, the Han Solo parka's awesome. Like, I totally, what's Eris's version of the Han Solo parka? It's not like Han Solo parka. It's like an Eris parka. So.
That's going to be an official Destiny clothing piece in the future, I'm sure.
So let's see. So here, if you so you can see as Eris is walking, there are these crystals emerging, and this is indicating that she is, this plus the final scene from Shadowkeep, the kind of post-game sequence, is really indicating that Eris, a character who has been, very anti the notion of the darkness, has maybe started to explore the edges of it, and certainly looks like she may be wielding something a little bit different than you would expect.
This even looks like almost a clue into stasis, which obviously I'll be asking questions about in a little while. But yeah, this was a kind of a similar aesthetic to what we saw in the gameplay trailer. So
yeah, just well, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty on my side here. I think I'm still with you. Yeah. Okay. I'm just catching up to the video. My video popped.
All good.
So now, yeah, the original cut for this piece was almost 5 minutes long, and a lot of it ended up being travel. And if you just give me a little pause here, because I want to talk about this just for a second, it ended up being a lot of travel time, which Mike and Eric and I were talking about. This notion of taking our time was really important, not because of all the reveals, but because sometimes we'll have the marketing pieces, like these pieces that we put out that are really bombastic, and the pace is really fast, and I think the dungeon trailer and the like early gameplay trailer are like punchier and quicker, and we had this long cut for this piece, and then we had a shorter cut that was, I don't remember the exact time. And when people watched the shorter cut, we just didn't feel like it was giving the whole piece enough time to breathe. And of course, the 5-minute cut is like that's like Mike, Zach, and I, being like, it can be long and slow, like a Kubrickian movie or whatever. Like, and so we find some like reasonable here, and I think that we did get to this really nice length here. Okay. This is meant to show an uncomfortable meeting between three characters. The dismount for the stranger and into this thing that emerges from her. That object, I know we're gonna have a lot of questions about, and I'm not gonna talk too specifically about them. But the stranger is not forged in light. The stranger does not have a ghost.
So that's not a ghost.
That is not a ghost. That is something different, and that's kind of where we're going to leave that for now. But it is for sure not a ghost.
Towards the very end, she has a line, and if I can go back and scrub directly to it, I'm going to try.
You here to see.
So about bringing them here to see the Dorito, one of the pyramid ships. Are we to assume that based on that back and forth, that Drifter, Eris Morn, and the Exo Stranger have a previous interaction history?
I don't think it's assumed that there's a previous interaction history. I think when we were putting this piece together, we were thinking about who is the kind of who are three characters, because Destiny, often happens in factors of three. Who are the three characters who would be most interested in the power of the darkness? And the Drifter, with all of his, embrace the darkness, all of his like gambit chicanery is a great fit. We had and then Eris, of course, is kind of also a pretty great fit. And when I was this whole idea started with the Stranger, so she was there from the beginning, because I felt like anytime you want to explore something different, like the darkness, like I said on the video, like a character who's not forged in light, and a character who's like who's like kind of pointed at this notion that the collision with the player would break ground, felt like really good opportunity. And I know people have been waiting a long time to see her again, and I think this is a great time to do it.
Yeah, you could. I think that's an understatement. As one of the characters that I don't have time to explain why I don't have time to explain why we've wanted to see that for a really long time. The thing that's not a ghost, I'm just going to ask it outright. Are we going to be able to obtain something similar?
Not this year.
Not this year. Are you implying in the future that it would be potentially possible?
It's certainly an idea that we are deeply considering, because I think that I think it's, you put something in front of people, you see how they react to it, you see if they think it's cool, and then we'll go from there. I think there's a bunch of opportunity to add super cool shit for players in Destiny, and I think that the Stranger's little buddy is I think it's pretty super cool, but our community is going to tell us what they think.
They usually do, don't worry. Between when Beyond Light is released and now, is there an expectation for the Exo Strangers, the big gap in time to be fleshed out as to what was going on, where they went, all that?
No, she's going to kind of debut in Beyond Light. She's not going to be a part of the Season of Arrivals.
Just wanted to check.
That's good. It's your time. Let's do it.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to go through the Beyond Light reveal trailer. I think I speak for a lot of people when I say, holy crap, you guys are very good at cinematics. We appreciate you taking the time to do everything that you've done with that. But it is time to get into the nitty gritty. And as you told me before, and I want to make sure that people understand this, none of the questions that I'm going to ask you were pre-canned from Bungie. You didn't give me anything. I even told CJ, no, thank you. I'm good, because I wanted to do the best that I could to represent the community and the position that y'all have offered up to me. So thank you very much. And I'm going to start out of the gate with talking about in-game live events. We saw the destruction of the Almighty. That was a technical feat for Bungie, proving you can do in-game globally synced live story events. Very, very cool. Many players, though, were frustrated by the duration of the event and the level of communication around when viewing said event would be essential. Will Bungie be doing more live in-game events going forward? And if so, in what ways are they going to be changed from our first experience with them?
So I think that's an awesome and totally great question. The way I've been thinking about this event, which I think you said really well, is technically awesome. And once it kind of hit its stride, I think it's fucking cool too. But we had these Lego pieces, and I think the Lego pieces with things like what's the timing of an event? What's the way that players come into the world? How do they know when is the best time to be there? I think about this in terms of concerts, not Travis Scott, but like if you actually go to a concert or a comedy show or something, doors are at 7:30. But if you're there to see a comic, they probably don't go on time. And so I think that once you learn that, you're like, okay, that's fine. I think we could have signaled all of that better. And at the bare minimum, we've got to signal it better. But I also think there's a compression that we could be doing with the time that we're asking people to chill there too.
A follow-up, if there are future events like that, is there an opportunity for players to maybe be a little more hands-on with the mechanics or the event playing out? Because I think a lot of people while they did go through and do all of the bounties and public events to gas Rasputin up, it very much would have been nice to be able to, even just in this case, go to the Almighty, maybe disable a portion of the shield, anything like that where there was an interactive moment, because people often felt like they just sat there and watched Rasputin blow a thing up that they put a lot of work into before that with no payoff.
Yeah, I think that there's two things you're talking about there, and I think they're both great pieces of feedback. Like the first one is what's like the kinetic action game part of this? Like how do I get to feel like I'm more involved actively, like on the controller, on the keyboard? And I think that's awesome feedback, and we should strive to get there. The second thing I would say is it's also about how can I very clearly understand the impact of my or the community's collective actions across the game. And so, what is the other ideas that we've talked about are, how could we have made the Warmind network feel more present in the solar system at large, so that you're actually feeling, on your director and your skyboxes everywhere, that this is a thing that's building up over the course of the season, so that when you see those missile streamers traveling at, physically real time, but maybe not like action game, that you're like, yeah, we did that. And so I think those are both awesome notes and awesome pieces of feedback. I think the other thing was, because this is kind of our first one, it was really meant to just be kind of like, I think someone said it really well, like a cinematic you were watching with other people. So,
gotcha.
Better management from us for next time.
A lot of people in my chat are touching on crossplay, so I'm going to bring that up just super quick to get clarification so they understand. My understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that when the next generation of consoles, the next Xbox and PlayStation release, there will be crossplay within the same the same ecosystem. So Xbox, Xbox One and the next tier, and PS4, PS5, those will be able to interact with each other initially, but not cross-platform between the two. Correct?
Yeah, the intergenerational crossplay.
Yes. And then going forward, Mark specifically said that the goal is to achieve full crossplay next year.
Yeah, that's our target. We've been signaling crossplay for a while. We had some other technical priorities this year, and we want to move on to that next. Like we want to be that single evolving world, and that means they can play anytime, anywhere with your friends, and that Destiny 2 is the platform.
Is that, and last clarification on that, and then I won't bring up crossplay again. And that's going to be Xbox, PlayStation, PC, Stadia, all together?
Yes.
There you go, chat. Okay, I want to swing back. Talking about public events, bounties. Season of the Worthy on the PvE side felt like that was a majority of what we were asked to do. It became, for a lot of players, relatively monotonous. Doing millions of these things, and that's the only thing you could do at the time to further the story, is kind of frustrating. What is the plan going forward? Will seasonal content have a stronger variety of things to do?
So we're getting the feedback as we keep going. So one of the things that I associate with player feedback around Season of the Worthy is an intentional decision that I made, which is we want to refuel aspiration in the game, and for that season, because we could only do one really big aspirational thing, we chose to do trials. And so PvE aspirational players were kind of, I think, left cold by the lack of something to care about at the top end. We've rectified that for season 11 with the dungeon that comes out today at 5, and so we're making sure that we have that. With respect to like the bounties and the amount of bounties players feel like they have to do, this is going to be a continued area of improvement for us. Like we have stuff that we are planning for year 4 that is going to give players alternate ways to make bounty-like progress on their season pass. Like that I think can lessen the burden of making it feel like the best way to play the game is to grab the random bounties till you get the one for the lost sector and then run in and out of it over like that. That doesn't sound like a super fun way to play the game. So we've got to get better here.
You mentioned that Season of the Worthy obviously had trials, was the big aspiration. For Season of Arrivals, you have a brand new dungeon, which begs the question, is there a cadence internally about PvE versus PvP for new content? Should we expect the back and forth each season? Is there going to be, or will it be split between both sides going forward for each subsequent season?
It's not going to be necessarily like a back and forth sawtooth. I think that we've talked about wanting to do a refresh to trials every year. And I don't know that we've said exactly, I can't keep it all straight. I don't know if we've said when we're doing the next one. I do know when we're doing the next one.
Feel free to say.
No, I think that we,
just checking.
We talked about the PvE top end kind of passively in that video that we just watched, which is, in year 4, we're going to have the raid that comes out with Beyond Light, and we're also going to have a raid that returns from the content vault. And so we'll have at least 2 raids. We'll have 2 raid activities next year, and we've got to figure out what that aspiration looks like. In there's one season basically that doesn't have something booked, and so we've got to figure out what that's going to look like.
You said a raid was coming back from the content vault. Which raid specifically?
we're gonna pull the old Vault of Glass out and
there you go.
And play there.
Fantastic. That's I'm hoping people are very excited about that. That seems I think a lot of people have a certain feeling about Vault of Glass compared to everything else because it was the first. It's everybody remembers the first. So change gears again real quick. Hardcore players of Destiny, of which, especially on the streamer side, I admit that, and I'm trying to not be content creator focused. I'm trying to look at everybody. There are a lot of hardcore non-content creator players as well. They enjoy highly repeatable content. I'm going to use Diablo as an example. You have an unending difficulty scale in which you can continue to get rewards forever, basically. That may not necessarily fit into the Destiny structure, but GM Nightfalls were added as an even harder difficulty, but the reward structure for that was essentially a title that you only went after once. There was, with the exception of a small period of bug rewards, there's no reason to do those over Masters. Going forward, is there a plan to give a longer-term carrot on a stick mechanic for players in that situation that have done everything? And a suggestion, thank you to Dado for making this video, was that maybe you can have titles that level up. So you've unlocked, Conquer. Or how many times maybe you get the level 2, level 3, level 4, something that'll give people something to do so you can show that they've dedicated a whole crap load of time to something and it doesn't affect the way that the game is played.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. I'm pretty sure we're doing something like this starting soon, which is it might be starting as early as season 11. Like some stuff.
Sekarang
masih ada.
Titles is a thing that we are working on and planning to do is one thing. I think another thing with an activity like the GM Nightfalls, which I think have a number of properties, we're going to be enhancing our organization.
Content free. All content atau dungeonnya gitu atau gitu.
Sometimes we're not totally sure how the thing is going to go. Like we do a lot of experimenting in this game. Maybe
jadi activity yang itunya season pass owner doang. Jadi gue masih mikir-mikir sih kalau season pass.
Bingung. Exotic quest gitu.
Things like mods created.
Shit.
Kalau dungeon naik powernya kira-kira berapa ya nih? 10 lagi.
50.
1030.
Oh, udah ada update sih gue belum.
giga.
Oh, kecil, gue kira gede.
Temen gue goblok.
Gila, dark drinker boys sama ballcaster.
Destiny, padahal Destiny di Steam kagak tinggi loh, nggak nyentuh 70.000.
Masih updating. Tunggu bentar.
Iya, alibinya lagi suruh nunggu. What the fuck, kemarin kuat tuh sampai 200.000.
Oh, udah selesai update. Running dulu.
Ya udahlah, gue sambil Overwatch CS.
Let's go power. Udah selesai ya update power.
Weh, masuk monggo.
Aku nitip power deh.
Terus nge-game.
Beli expansion nitip Pak. Sedih anjir. Kan nitip Pak.
Lu belum laku, War? Oke, udah laku gitu. Jadi kalau
Yang di
laku
luar
mau
tuh
dijual berapa, War?
baru satu doang.
Minus berapa, War? Iya. Loh, kan untung dapet duit gimana sih?
Gue dibacotin lo, wow.
Oh, gimana Pak Rifka? Sekarang kita gue bacotinnya gitu ya sekarang.
Bye bye.
Terus gue dipanggil apa dong?
Let's go.
Lu dipanggil tai berarti.
Lu panggil ini.
Baru cuy.
Ugly Bass.
Aduh, mentang-mentang udah masuk ya
baru,
sama.
Iya, mentang-mentang udah masuk anjir, weh, spoiler.
Gua nggak ngomong apa-apa, nggak spoiler dong.
Itu udah spoiler.
Ya, lu udah bilang ada cutscene baru.
Ya kan itu nggak spoiler.
Cutscene baru.
Weh, ada logo Destiny, weh. Kalau itu nggak apa-apa dong.
Ada soundtrack, weh.
Itu nggak apa-apa.
Weh. Gue suruh ngulang karakter, weh.
Tepat.
Stres tuh gue langsung
Itu baru
stres.
gue gak login, itu gue gak login.
Gue langsung stres, gue langsung uninstall.
Masih 5 menit.
Limited
berarti
apa? Wefarer.
Overwatch isinya cheater semua, baru mulai udah.
Sekarang cheater udah blatant cuy.
Cara bisa Overwatch gimana sih?
Lu harus berapa ratus win gitu.
Kali menang
Berapa ratus win?
100 kali menang, bukan 100 kali main kompe, 100 kali menang kompe.
Kalau yang main account gue udah 440 win loh.
Kalau gue yang ini baru
jadi udah bisa gitu.
Ya,
Apa tuh? Witherhood.
Ini yang
Witherhood.
Apa sih?
Grenade launcher.
Race baru itu yang the Veil itu berarti gak di Beyond Light kan?
Impact weapon-nya dong, Rome.
Beyond Light.
Sama exotic
Beyond
weapon-nya.
Light itu.
Itu granat launchernya.
Wah, eksotik dong.
Ya makanya, gue bingung, kaget liat anjir eksotik dong.
Armornya keren juga.
Gila sih itu.
Break the bank.
Gue mau lihat yang Hunter.
Lah suara katalis
Apa?
kan? Let's go.
Screenshot UI please or anything new.
Apa ini gue langsung misi baru anjir, Beyond Light. Hah? Apa nih?
Sniper katalis cari dulu.
Oh, itu ini buat apa? Artifak.
DLC
Sleepless cuy. Ayolah.
Ayo, sos.
Udah Lut, kita mau belajar Lut, sana belajar Lut.
Iya.
Kita mau nge-raid soalnya.
Uas.
Kita nge-raid dulu.
Kalau gue juga uas aja.
Apa itu uas?
Fuck.
Anda udah lulus
Gak penting.
Apa itu uas?
Anda udah lulus diam saja.
2,3 menit lagi. Please. Oh iya, lu login 1 minute, 1 moment please gak?
Nope.
Oh, oke.
Oh, disuruh 3
Gak
orang.
pernah masuk dong, gua telat.
Itu 3 orang.
Sabar.
Yang baru itu apa?
Mau masuk.
OST baru itu.
Walaupun gak ada season pass gak ada guna. Mau checking doang.
Aku ke tower dulu.
Gue sih penting untuk ini nih cari artifak terus udah.
Shadow overhead. Apa nih?
Oh ya, artifact.
Ya, mending dapetin
keluar
artefak dulu, terus udah.
Balik.
Sumpah ini lagunya berubah juga coy.
Buset.
Oh iya.
Tinggal berapa lagi?
Juga
Masih lama pak. Gue baru 500 MB internet gue, bukan internet lu pada ya.
Si gas coin tuh 20 berapa? 24,9 mega tuh.
Oh namanya Umbral Engram.
Emang kalau usah normalnya tuh internet Jakarta tuh segitu coy 20-an menit.
Iya.
Namanya Engram.
Normal aja kan tuh segitu emang wajar aja.
Oh ada ornamennya Divinity.
Hah? Ornamen Divinity?
Yang jadi apa dia atau baru?
Yang
Jadi
lama,
gitu.
yang lama.
Ya, kirain
Yang
apa?
putih itu loh.
Udah pun.
Assembly ya.
Tidak tanya.
Brightness.
Kita lihat di data aja.
Tidak tanya.
Data aja di
Menit.
Coba
Lagi.
Today in Destiny Ever First kita lihat apa saja jual oleh Bright.
Ornamennya Monte Carlo.
Serius?
Serius.
Ornamen apa?
Yang lama.
Streaming.
Nih yang ya gue streaming.
Let me see anything new. Everything new.
Ya saya tidak bisa streaming. Bagaimana ini?
The day we've been
Power,
blessed.
streaming power.
Udah gue stream.
Power, streaming.
Yang itu.
We need boots on the ground. Recon.
Carlo. Iya, back.
It's already disabled.
Anjing ngapain Guardian
I do know
game?
there is his expertise, but he hasn't
Ngapain Guardian game? Kalau dijual, Ghost Hunter.
Eris is our best chance of understanding our against. I need her at the tower.
Transfer shift, let's go.
It's too valuable an asset.
Apaan ada ornamen?
Find her.
Transfer shift.
Ornamen.
Yoi.
Seasonal. Terus lihat satu-satu.
Mantap sekali.
Dari finisher.
Anjing bagus banget.
Outbreak baru. Nih.
Wow.
Outbreak.
Jelek. Jelek. Apa ini?
Truth. Bentar. Ini finishernya main volley cuy.
Itu
Boom.
bikin kayak gejala hornet. Lu lihat deh.
Oh my
Balik ke truk
god.
dong. Balik ke truk dong.
Wardcliffe apaan anjir?
Balik ke truk.
Apalagi
Ke truk. Balik lagi yang ke truk.
Ana lagi.
Ke kiri.
Kiri.
Terus kiri. Woi.
Kiri.
Lagi terus. Lagi. Nah, liatin yang tuh.
Terus.
Objective reality. Anjir gejala Arhorn cuy.
Kayak boy.
Jadi gejala Arhorn boy.
Aku udah. Nice.
Apa ini?
Monte Carlo-nya Monte Carlo-nya kok kayak ini ya, kayak apa? Iron Banner gitu timnya.
Yang mana lagi?
Breakdance.
Bukan archive.
Itu yang lama itu.
Itu lama, Pak.
Lama semua.
Langsung beli. Wah.
Transfer shift sih. Mana sih transfer shift? Liatin dong transfer shift.
Harus di warlock.
Dia
War. Stream war.
Warlock dong, warlock.
Ya buka YouTube gua lah, orang gua lagi stream.
Oh lu YouTube, pantesan gua nyari gak ada.
Ini apa sih yang Titan Bundle?
Udah stream Discord aja.
Enak aja gak mau.
Oh ini kayak Eris Morn. Oh.
Mana war? Let's see.
Jadi facts kita.
Ini Silver War.
Silver.
Sepatu convergence. Oh man, dang.
Ih, anjir.
Keren banget aja.
Wah, ini wajib beli sih gua.
Wajib beli
Gua tergiur nih sekarang. Dude.
Wajib beli ya.
Dude, gua tergiur, dude. No.
Dude. Wih, apa nih? Dekil Kangram. Oh iya ya.
Apa anjing? Iya.
Hunter apa coba? Nggak ada ngecek ya?
Hunter, ya gue ganti karakter dulu ya. Gue ganti karakter ya. Gue gak ada Hunter.
One moment nih.
Gue di Warlock.
Sekarang harus itu war.
One moment.
jadi balet kita balet. Let's go.
Oh. Oke.
Anjing Lessword-nya keren banget cuy.
Iya, Lessword-nya keren banget sih itu.
Bad Lessword-nya enggak keren. Bukan Lessword yang dulu.
War, coba lihat di taman, lihat ornamen seasonal. Ornamen dari season pass.
Season.
War, lihat weapon war.
Bacot lu.
Ornamen season pasnya.
Nih. Siapa yang ngomong bacot lu?
Bentar lagi lihat satu-satu apa satu-satu.
Oh, yang kayak
armornya keren sih.
Keren.
Standarnya
bagus.
Witherhood.
Nih buat yang
Oh,
warlock.
ini great launchernya.
Yang warlock.
Oh, anjir, keren cuy.
Helmnya aneh sih.
Keren.
Sama aja.
Apa nih? Plus rifle, yes. Plus. Oh my god, 340. Impact.
Power limit.
Under.
Shit.
Berapa tuh?
Seasonal power cap 1060.
Oh iya, 1060.
1060 power cap.
Iya. Banyak banget kita nih.
Ornamennya.
Oh, kecil.
Apalagi.
Oke.
Ornamennya. Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
Ada Tena ya, walkie-talkie ya.
Walkie-talkie.
Ada Tena pakai walkie-talkie tuh.
Iya, walkie-talkie War. Gitu.
Helmnya. Oke.
Tena lagi ya.
Ada Tena aja.
Wow, coba lihat gede banget.
Ornamennya cantik banget cuy.
Kemarin anjir.
Ornamennya ngeri sih.
Itu yang kuning. Yang kuning-kuningnya kayak jajanan gitu anjir.
Kayak kebab anjing.
Coba kebun.
Ada yang mau cek public event baru maybe? Atau destination gitu.
Tidak punya season pass.
Ntar Mer nunggu
Public event nggak perlu season pass kali.
Hah, public event nggak perlu season pass ya?
Kakinya kayak apa war ornamen kakinya?
Kan public event.
Main bang.
Buset, cutscene-nya berapa cuy?
Oh, wait, what? Itu bukan Dark Drinker?
Nope.
No, lebih gede dari
Ada itu cuy. No time to explain.
Iya emang.
Di mana?
Tiga dapat kan?
Exotic. Iya, ini udah keluar. Exotic
dapat dari mana?
Beyond Light.
Oh,
nanti selama.
Jangan nonton.
Spoiler. Udah, cabut.
Itu udah ada di trailernya cuy.
Gak update-nya lama.
Yang Rasputin tiba-tiba mati. Gue masih bingung Rasputin tiba-tiba mati gimana.
You bring weapons. You will not need them. We offer only truth. We will.
Jangan spoiler.
Something pulled us out of the beam. What's happening? What is this place?
Kenapa? Kenapa itu si Joko terus?
Oke. Interesting.
No. Powerful friends.
Remit just ate a planet.
Powerful friends. Lihat dong mobility gue cuma 45. Padahal gue powerful friends ada nge-stuck bro.
Oh iya baru ingat lagi powerful friends.
Pak Kos, mau story nggak?
Cuy, gue apaan tanpa.
Oh iya Pak War juga, Pak War. Yang bertiga itu Pak War.
Apaan sih bertiga?
Yang di Iyo, yang bertiga orang, yang orang
harus ini gue masuk sendirian kok.
I'm getting faint readings from Eris.
Enggak kan story kan terus masuk Iyo kan, terus habis itu ada activity gitu di pojok kiri atas yang suruh bertiga.
The air down here is choked with strange communications. I don't know if I can.
Is that you, Guardian?
Lah Solojunya ada lagi.
Zavala sent us.
Of course he did.
Solojunya ada baru, ada dua. Atau gimana? Ada dua.
It? What is it?
Tuh terakhir. Oh, ternyata itu bukan Underdrinker cuy. Itu source baru tapi legendary tuh.
Ini apa nih? Poin baru altered element.
FPS lu mulus banget ya warnanya. Gue mainnya soalnya ya karena monitor gua cuman
tepain
items ya.
Makanya loot PC loot bangunnya loot.
Ada 120 coy 240 juga ada.
Laptop itu udah durable loh untuk game lama-lama apalagi sebesar Destiny gini yang datanya kan 200.
Apa cuma gua tahu FPS itu apa bagus?
Ya tergantung laptopnya mana dulu. Kalau Destiny kita ya nggak bakal bisa.
Oh langsung spawn di Ayo.
Laptop itu ya semua komponen segede itu sih. Kalau gue sih gue udah
ada gas coin. Masuk langsung ngajak ribut kosmos.
Iya, bangke emang si anjing.
Gak apa-apa, gas lanjutin aja.
Enggak, hati gue sakit terus sama lu sih.
Oh iya, ini udah cuma kerjaan gua, Bos.
Gue lagi nonton cutscene nih.
Si geblek anjing.
Buset dah.
Tidak tingkat katalis dong, apa yang ada yang nambah?
Gas, gua ke rumah lu, gas. Update
Oh iya katalis bentar. Boleh semenit cepet ya.
Anjir lu dengan ke warnet gas.
Nah,
dengan ke warnet daripada suruh bayar sama gas koin anjing.
bangsat itu.
Oh enggak. Ini benar semenit itu cuy. 100.000.
Oh, ini cuy, ada eksotik baru kinetik.
Itu apaan?
Eksotik kinetik 1 sama energinya 1.
Ada kayak biru-biru gitu, kayak yang poin di Mars itu lah.
Katalis boy, katalis apa ya boy?
Katalis password.
Password bagian ada.
Ada beneran.
Enggak, gua ngomong doang sih.
Ada di situ
Woi, Dim udah bisa belum sih?
Udah bisa harus.
What?
Dude,
Where am I?
weapon gue di hunter semua, gue lupa.
Pakos?
To the cradle. Oh, kita di cradle-nya itu.
Apa?
Lagi OTW kan?
Enggak tahu, gue masih di orbit ini sih terbang. Belum, udah.
Udah bisa.
Yoman.
Oh, login langsung story ya.
Iya makanya.
Ya udah.
Oh no, udah lawan musuh dong.
Ntar gue temenin grindingnya deh. Kalau mau
Lagi ganggu guys.
Lu pada mau grinding apa?
Syarat
Power.
Oh level, polen bla bla.
Kalau baru mulai season.
Yuk sotot guys sekarang. Gua temenin lu sotop, lu temenin gua LW.
Boleh. Ntar malam deh.
Ntar malam LW, let's go.
Nah,
Cie yang belum punya.
Bacot.
Cie, Pak Ragil belum punya.
Bacot.
apa?
Ayo. Ngecek
Oh,
poin swap.
ada season pass ya?
Enggak ada. Lu udah beli?
Kan gua yang deluxe kemarin, jadi langsung.
Oh, belum gue.
Sombong dari mana sih?
Tahu, ngeflex. Punya season pass-nya ngeflex.
Bingung gua anjir.
Oh, Destiny dong ngeflex. Aduh, ngeflex tuh title.
Ngeflex tuh punya knife di CSGO.
Ayo ke tower, Pak. Pak Kos ke tower.
Tower mana?
Ngeflex tuh buka 10 case CSGO dapat 3 knife.
Itu sword apa buat nampar nyamuk ya?
Tebat
Itu kalau lu main dari si warrior tuh pedangnya Guanping tuh.
Iya bener banget anjir.
Ya kan gede banget anjir pedangnya Guanping.
Aneh banget anjir.
Eris, talk to us. Say
Oh shit.
Anjir, gua belum nyampe 1010.
Pak Kos ngapain ini?
Sekarang gampangin kan?
What is that?
Jadi
buset.
itu kayak
Pak Kos nggak berani. What the hell?
apa itu Vortex Friend?
Itu sih, saya gua mereka
Kalau lu nge-skip cutscene guys, itu the best part of Destiny cuy.
Parah banget.
Ada cutscene lagi.
Oh itu friend baru, iya swordnya ya?
Ini ada yang lagi live streaming kan?
Ada.
Kenapa Pak Kos?
Kok kecewa gitu suaranya.
Apa?
Kecewa lu.
Mana berak.
Harus banget lawan bosnya. What the hell?
No powerful friend.
Mati.
Kan hilang, udah nggak stack lagi cuma
stack.
1.
Sekarang ini kalau lu mau epic sekarang ada yang kenapa plus 20 strike.
Double free striker.
jadi lu bisa 100 recover, 100 ini 100 strike.
Oh, berarti buat pasangan The Marker gitu.
It's keeping us from Eris.
Konsep gitu bisa anjir.
The Marker for the win.
Those are all eyes.
Seperti itunya armor ya?
Oh iya, seperti armor baru.
Oh iya.
Mau dari
apa exotic armor baru?
Ini buka deh. Gue udah. Sama kamera ada 3 gitu.
Bentar, gue bukain. Nah, ini si Rasputinnya kenapa?
Gak bayar PLN ya.
Oh, weapon ornament juga ada di collection.
Iya, ada tetap pelet lagi motong
Enggak, tagihannya PSBB naik tuh, jadi ngepot bayarnya.
Iya, bener juga.
This one's going on.
Parah sih emang PSBB suruh setup tower lagi.
What the hell is
Oh,
this?
sekarang ada tab weapon ornament lagi gitu. Kayak dari kemarin.
Oh my god, again.
Itu nggak ada.
Nggak ada.
Berarti yang lain juga ada. Itulah legendary weapon jadi exotic.
Oh iya lu belum pernah main. Lu ornamentnya inilah transfernya biar bagus banget.
Jadi fake kita.
Jadi wah keren banget gila sih.
Ini mau pelan-pelan atau gimana, Pak? Bagus.
Iya, santai.
Buat langsung story anjing gue pas pakai Redix.
Enggak, itu login langsung story cuy.
Lah, gua tadi masuk Spiration sama
Gua pakai Spiration.
Terus what?
Pakai loadout PvP lah. Pakai loadout PvP lah. Lama lagi story-nya cuy.
Loadout apa ya?
Story lama banget.
Jangan ada story, lu.
Tahu lu komplain aja lu.
Komplain mau main aja kagak.
Oh ini kering ternyata, waliknya bener coy.
Wow.
Lu baru main story ini, Bro?
You're hurt. Kan lu juga baru kan?
Iya.
Is nothing.
Kadang gua nggak ngerti, Cosmos emang gua nggak ngerti.
Ini udah masuk story duluan daripada gua.
Enggak, gua ketawa dulu tadi.
It grew from the last place.
Selalu.
Terkadang. Oke, emang
ngajak ribut.
Tahu ada gas koin ribut tadi damai-damai aja. Emang
Nyalain gas koin.
Tahu dia ugly bastard gimana nih? Ugly bastard.
Lu lagi bastard anjing.
What is going on?
Lagi bastard.
Tahu bener ya. Pas gas koin masuk kita mau musuh anjir.
Kayak Jen.
Something that does not want
It's a
to
fact, bro. It's a fact.
Kai, mau main lagi nggak Kai? Gue beliin Kai.
It is of the darkness.
No.
It has to be
Tidak kayak sini Kai. Si lu buat gua Kai, si lu.
Apa Anda?
Pawar, gak begitu pawar.
Come in.
Dr. Hawks.
Dr. Hawks bener semua link gue yang gue kirim.
Ngaku.
Gak terima gue anjir. Dr. Hawks.
Itu link juga bukan lu yang nge-leak.
Ngaku.
Iya. Dr. Hawks curhat dong.
Atau nggak ketawa gas koin.
Tadi go.
Mana ketawa gua? Gua mana pernah ketawa.
Gak ada.
Tai lu. Bocah tai.
Bocah.
What the fuck?
Fucking wheezing.
Bro.
Weh, power gua 1060 udah, let's go. Yo, ada install sini.
It found me. The darkness reached out, but something interferes.
Falling
Its messages
guillotine.
to us are being
What?
defaced.
Onslaught baru.
By the witch sister of the taken king Oryx.
Cradle the Sun. Yo.
Traveler chosen dari jadi eksotik.
Yep.
What?
No.
Iya itu legendary jadi eksotik.
Ignorance. The Guardian has discovered a means to circumvent her. A seed of silver wings.
Finally.
If the darkness
habis ini ke Vostok nih habis ini.
I will not
Amin ke Vostok.
We are beyond sanctions.
Harus sih
It is
Vostok.
here. I will return to Io. If we cannot determine what the darkness seeks, we will
Exotic
find
cipher
ourselves on the
presented to
verge
Sur or
of a second
Cryptarch to
collapse.
receiver you what? Oh?
Ini FPS gue kenapa jadi tinggi amat?
Tinggi
Sama jadi lebih mulus gak sih? Atau gua doang?
Please don't.
Ini FPS gue tinggi banget anjir. 170-an, biasanya 111.
Weird flex but okay.
Wait.
According to spectral analysis, the pyramid. It's
Sekali-kali karakter kita ngomong lagi apa?
I don't see a ship.
Anjir, ternyata Rasputin gak efektif. What the fuck?
Terus Rasputinnya kabur lagi kayak dulu.
All records agree. On the first day, the sky filled with darkness. On the second, the traveler fell.
Berarti dia cuma show off doang kemarin ya? Show off doang.
Oh berarti bagian
fighting.
Iya, Redrix di buff ya. Abis ini langsung crucible gue nih.
Oh udah di buffnya sandbox ini.
Yo, langsung crucible boy.
Ini hunter banyak nih, hunter pakai sneak bow.
Weaponnya cuma satu season ini.
Weapon apa?
Weapon season pass. Yang legendary cuma pulse rifle.
Pedang.
Itu pedang ada kan?
Lah kok gue lihat I'm so blind.
Not a surprise, sir. Not a surprise.
That's why we don't want you to think.
Story-nya lumayan sih awal-awal.
Maybe this is what we want.
Point of apaan gede amat.
Titan mana eksotiknya
Woi, Morget.
The new Vanguard saw once dead.
Eris jadi pindah kayu atau gimana?
Dia udah bosen ya di Moon.
Big Boss Blue said you were coming. Offered me some made-up job. Plugging the pyramid's leaks. Keeping the dark bottled up. Said it was compulsory. I don't mind a little charity, but you ask me, containment's just like holding your breath. Gotta let it out every now and then.
Mantul.
Pyramids are making some moves. Moondust thinks we can use the darkness we catch to charge that seed. Might cut through all that pesky interference in the cradle. Might let her tell you what Savathun doesn't want you to know. Good thing, too, cause it is wacky out there. Look around. Cabal, Fallen, bunch of unsavory types looking to stake their claim. Jokers can't even see we're boxed in. All bets on you to pull through. No pressure.
Masalahnya tambeng anjir.
Gue yang lama berapa ya? Riset.
Pick with the drifter, kenapa drifter lagi?
Gak biar P abis
Apa?
P.
What? I'm deaf.
Public event, sir.
Wait,
udah 3 nomor itu. War.
Baru berdua.
Ntar ini baru apa nggak? Quest ya?
Wes, Zavala nggak bantu apa-apa.
Udah Japala nanti pas level harus mati tuh.
Iya,
harus Satu-satunya kebahagiaan kalau Darkness itu menang adalah Zavala mati.
Forsaken, Cage 6 mati, semua pada sedih. Nanti pas
sekarang
Zavala mati
Zavala
langsung
mati.
we party sir.
Yoi.
What the fuck is this?
Oppressive Darkness balik lagi ya?
Pick with the drift.
What? Balik lagi.
Oke, I'm gonna check seasonal artifact.
What is Twisted?
Oppressive Darkness, let's go!
Yoi, buat fun
Oppressive
fest.
Darkness.
Oh, let's go. Oke, sebentar. Unstop hand cannon, overload hand cannon, barrier.
Barrier apa?
Wait, ada barrier rounds.
Apa?
Load guard, bla bla bla. Reload, overwing.
Overload arrowhead. Unstoppable pulse rifle.
Yes. Yes, pulse rifle meta. Terus
bow.
Anti.
Yang seasonal mod, yang seasonal modnya ya.
Hmm.
Enhanced pulse rifle loader. Enhanced unflinching rifle aim. Scatter projectile targeting, sword scavenger, bow loader. Terus bla bla bla.
Oh masih ini ya? Avenger masih bow lagi tuh.
Anti barrier tadi apa?
Counter charge, become charged with light whenever you or a member on your party staggers or disrupt a champion.
Orbit lah, biar gue saja.
Unstoppable pulse rifle.
Nggak ada barrier.
Oh, ada quest cuma buat yang punya season.
Barriernya kayaknya auto rifle deh.
Oh iya, baby.
Kok kayaknya?
Soalnya nggak ditulis apa, cuman anti barrier rounds.
Oh.
Anti barrier rounds auto rifle bukan?
Auto rifle ini gambarnya.
Gambarnya sih auto rifle.
Tapi nggak ada.
Tapi kan kalau kayak hand cannon, unstoppable hand cannon,
oh iya.
overload.
Weapon mod doang. Mungkin bisa
Weapon
semua.
mungkin kalau bisa semuanya oke banget sih. Randy's throwing knife keluar lagi.
Ini gue beli ya, gue coba ya.
Apa season pass?
Anti barrier.
Ya.
Wait, gua lagi bukan tab.
Anjay, volatile.
Oke, udah coba gua cek Steam Store.
Ada Beyond Light udah.
So many things.
Soalnya Corbett gua langsung ada itu cuy. Destiny to Beyond Light get it now.
Counter touch.
Yang di dekat tower guys, ya kan? Get it now, no time to explain pulse rifle, no time to explain the exotic cattle.
Di mana? Collection.
Terus apa namanya?
Collection.
Winterhood.
Listening to Beyond Light Deluxe Edition, get 4 seasons of Destiny.
Apa yang balik?
Oppressive.
Nah ini ada ghost shell apa? Tiba-tiba ada ghost shell ginian. Kayak Siva gitu.
Golden Oil, Pulse Rifle, SMG-nya apaan yang baru?
Oh bisa beli eksotik gitu dong.
Anjir nggak ada SMG dong. Oh.
Bidding murah.
Ini anjir ada Ikilos SMG versi 102. Oh yes baby.
What?
Ada Ikilos SMG season ini. Oh yes baby. Season depan bisa dipakai Ikilos SMG. Nice.
Di mana?
Ini di collection SMG di page 2. Ikilos SMG versi 102.
Iya. Ikelosnya ya?
Yo.
Power box kami 1300.
Ikhlas P102. Oh damn.
Damn. Oh yes baby, seneng gue season ini.
Left. Apa aja yang balik? Ada bow baru.
Wait.
Darkness tuh di mana sih?
Ada bow baru.
Arsenik balik.
Whispering slap.
Right up.
Apain?
Oppressive.
Full remedy balik.
Di mana?
Artifak.
Hand cannon.
Dude.
High class hand cannon balik.
Dude. Heartlight ornamen yang The Future is Chrome keren banget cuy.
Ada perk baru, cuy. Ada perk baru.
Mana?
Killing Wine.
Aja Heartlight ada berapa?
Ornamennya banyak sih.
Banyak amat. 1, 2.
Rifle baru nih, Korengan
Lethal System sama ini kan, Future is Chrome kan?
Forward path, false promises. Oh ini dari.
Wait, exotic armor baru belum keluar ya?
Belum. Ini
forward path itu Iron Banner. Check out rifle ada forward path.
Forward path.
Iron Banner kan?
Waduh.
Iron Banner kan itu?
Di mana? Waduh bagus banget.
Auto rifle collection.
Frontier Justice.
Oh, ada forward path lagi dong.
Oh iya baby.
Ada part baru Iron J.
Vertical shotgun.
Ini kayak Gambit gini ceritanya.
Shotgun ada Ikalos.
Iya, Gambit.
Kenapa
Gambit? Public eventnya kayak Gambit. Collect modes, don't die gitu. Max 10. Kalau udah 10 lu harus back cepet-cepet. Kalau enggak mati kali.
Public eventnya di mana aja?
Ayo sama Titan. Kayaknya sekarang di Ayo doang.
Kok ada campaignnya Beyond Light ya?
Iya, kalau punya season pass. Bukan Beyond Light itu, bukan Beyond Light itu yang season ini.
Season ini bisa masuk kayak ini. Terus
enggak, itu tuh buat advertising Beyond Light itu.
what the?
Wah, champion.
Overload gua gak punya.
Dude, gua gak pegang overload, dude.
Gak punya. Oh iya.
Nah, kok saya tak terus?
Mati pas trikarnya lah.
Aduh, ntar dulu. Tapi kesannya bisa dimainin nggak ya kalau gitu?
Oh ini Equinox namanya. Nama trace rifle-nya itu Ruinous FPG.
Di mana?
Ada di apa? Exotic Weapon Ornament.
Oh, oke.
Iya basic, ini Gambit public event-nya cuy. Bener-bener Gambit.
Emang ada invadernya gitu nggak ada kan tadi?
Iya.
Oh.
Gambit tapi buktinya doang gitu.
Oh alah.
Duh, ini
rewardnya apa?
Ini mau ngapain Pak?
Oh, ke IO. Bentar. Tadi dia. Kenapa? Tadi lo ngapain di tower? Lupa gue tadi. Gue belum ngambil izin. Ini suruh complete contact dulu.
Iya. Berantem.
Santai sih, lu kan pakai nggak terbantu. Lu kan cuma bagas poin doang.
Gas koin lagi disalahin.
Ngefans banget sama gue anjir.
Dia diam-diam suka sama lu kayak gas, sumpah gas.
Itu ada bola apaan?
Di bola.
Oh.
Ini campur transfer.
On the bank.
Saatnya
dulu.
Oh,
sekarang unstoppable tuh. Aduh. Oh wait, gak bisa pasang.
Ayo bro, kita public event dulu.
Waduh, udah nervous. Bisa gue tembak gak? Gak bisa. Tunggu dulu Pak, tunggu dulu.
Gua ada unstoppable.
Udah mulai nih sama Blueberry.
Blok.
Udah mati, oke.
Gue lagi coba ini loh Pak. Nih, Great Launcher baru. Wow.
Udah beli season pass. Udah punya maksudnya.
Iya. Gue diem aja.
Santai Pak Bro.
Enak juga nih.
Kabel mungkinnya tapi.
Mati lu.
Kabel mah goblok. Ini Great Launcher-nya enak loh, bikin nge-lag, bikin slow gitu.
Bisa nge-lag dong. Pingnya mereka diturunin gitu ya bro.
Anjir. Ayo, let's go, bang. Let's go.
Oh iya, mod collecting mati.
Ambil dong. Coba bagus gak? Oh nih, very good. Asal dulu.
Second blocker.
On the bank, blocker. Oh, ada blocker tuh. Anarki
Kan dibilang basically Gambit.
Songi.
Bruh. How Indonesian are you?
Pedang masih bagus, oke.
Mantep
Oh,
ini
di underline, guys.
Publikitannya variasi.
Tapi nggak boring kayak itu ya apa?
Well, baru-baru mulai seasonnya. Give it time.
Iya, nggak boring sama.
Lebih sedikit tidak boring.
Karena gue gerak. Kalau Sheriff Tower gue harus diem di satu tempat, pindah lagi.
Setuju banget.
Lunos baru awal season.
Yoi.
Jangan sampai lah lebih berharap sekali.
Sejauh ini apa? Gue agak kecewa lah sama Banji.
Oh, gue udah makin.
Ini modelnya kayak itu ya.
Anjir, Guardiannya kagak ngomong lagi, what the fuck.
Tahu, suruh ngomong kek. Capek gue denger suara ghost gue, annoying.
Itu kan ngisi suaranya Guardian cowok, kalau saya ada yang jadi Makri gitu kan. Overload. Sumpah.
Overload. Ntar gue beli anunya dulu. Overload dong. Kayak di sini aja.
Oh, udah.
Iya.
Power level gue 1011.
Oh, udah dinaikin ya? Sekarang capnya berapa?
1060.
Ngejar 50.
Yeah, at least got something to do.
Iya, at least paling konten 3.
Ini kok capnya berapa? 1050.
Nggak ada.
Top capnya. Start cap.
Phantom Death.
Bang, jangan lupa. Dulu Kak.
Gele apaan anjir ini kayak begini?
Defeat the Taken Will of Korea. Apaan? Dotor.
Wah. Langsung beli silver nih begini Gun.
Ayo lo, beli silver. Gue beli season 4-nya,
Transfer sip.
Yoi, beli transfer sip.
Clear Taken Blocker. Ini pakai simpel aja.
Unstoppable Taken. What?
Tapi enaknya public event ini gak ada yang ngomong fill the bank gitu.
Iya. Gak berisik. Cuma Erik doang. Kalau ada blocker sekali-sekali.
Summon the primeval gitu gak ada.
I got Umbral Ingram. Cara bukanya gimana?
Seasonal artifact dapatnya dari mana, coy?
Tadi dari Drifter.
Lanjutin aja questnya.
Itu Takennya ada Unstoppable.
Oh iya.
Drifter ngomong juga di sini.
Wow.
Atau
Jadi
sekali doang.
kemungkinan ada 3 nightfall baru ya.
Ada Sapatunnya itu kan nanti apa? Witness.
In the face of darkness, bring the mysterious Umbral Ingram to the
Nightfall Ordeal.
Oh, Ordeal.
Ordealnya
Reward ke tower.
Lack of Shadow. Fastering Core.
Iya. Corrupted paling males tuh.
Bangket udah hilang ya.
Terus Rasputin kabur, bakranya hilang itu.
Iya anjir.
Iya, Rasputinnya itu dong.
Rasputinnya
mati dong.
Kok title flawlessnya ada 2 nih? Collab, what?
Iya, exactly.
Flawless lagi.
I don't know why.
Flawless lagi.
Ya, flawless lagi.
Dah. Aram, kita tiles lagi Aram.
Hah?
Tiles lagi. Flawlessnya ada 2.
Flawlessnya ada 2.
Flawless season ini ada flawless lagi.
Flawless nya ada 2.
Yang sekarang Forerunner sama Flawless.
Sama, Flawless title-nya namanya.
Dan kalau udah nyelesain complete collection trial yang sebelumnya udah ada 1 tuh yang
after visiting the lighthouse at least once so another player. Ya harus ada orang yang belum pernah flawless, itu susah nyarinya.
Kayaknya karena sis first time ever ya. Oh iya, yang belum pernah. Pas season ini doang.
Passage of confidence
Ini
lagi.
Bad Omen-nya sekarang ada logo yang terbaru tuh. Apa
Ini
bedanya?
flawless sama kayak flawless dulu gak sih?
Ya sama.
Ini flawless gak hilang ya? Jadi flawless gak hilang atau title-nya cuman di reset doang kan progresnya?
Iya.
Kayaknya kalau lu nggak punya yang waktu season lalu lu ngerjain yang ini, ulang lagi fresh gitu. Kalau udah punya gak usah.
Buat oke.
Berarti gue udah gak bisa.
Scott Rifle yang baru apa? No need Scott Rifle customer.
Fokus sama ngebeng, Pak.
Hah?
Fokus sama ngebeng, fokus bank. Itu tinggal
Iya,
dikit.
Udah.
Anti barrier sama over.
Lain baru bisa dibuka. Nanti suruh top to drifter.
Nih.
Oh, unstoppable-nya bisa di pulse, bro. Ini dia.
Itu weapon gambit ada yang di recycle loh.
Apa?
Weapon gambit itu ditai baru dapet gue.
Maksudnya di recycle.
Jadi world drop ya?
Iya, ganti logo.
Dapat umbral engram lagi dong.
Oh.
Wow.
Jadi tertawa mulu apa sih?
Rewardnya apa nih? Nggak ada. Oke. Lu apa Pak Prom dapat apa?
Umbral juga.
Oh. Enggak, rewardnya chestnya ini public
event. Nggak ada.
Umbral decryption.
Oppressive darkness, bro.
Ini apa tuh?
Fire keren amat.
What nih awan?
Kenapa Pak Prom?
Drifter.
Prismatic caster.
Questnya ke drifter lagi.
Oh.
Wah. Exclusive.
Ya elah, ada kayak oblit gitu lagi dong di sebelah drifter.
Yes.
Woi, Kelos ada versi baru,
Bener
coy.
kan itu season
Akses
dapat lonsam.
Gambit everywhere gambit.
Iya, season apa gambit ini?
Ngentot.
Fuck gambit.
Kelos, wah, farming Kelos lagi lah.
Dapat 7 teraf. Some puzzles are meant to be solved in the light.
Ini bagus banget ornamennya, sumpah.
Harus coba nih last.
Ini untuk for good.
Coy, di Kelos ada versi itu ya.
Ribet amat.
Iya lo, terus sekali.
Udah ada yang cerita, udah ada yang ngasih tahu.
Cuy, ribet amat, engram diduain harus beda vendor gitu.
Apa rapid fire dadar gitu lagi?
Rapid fire apaan?
Shotgun?
Taken that.
Bring back the old rapid fire frame.
Bagus cuy.
Sumpah ini keren banget ornamennya Titan dong. Wah.
Ada ngobrol mulu sama drifter, bete banget lu.
Harus ada yang baru.
Aja nih guys. Lu lah, lanjut nanti siang atau ya.
Oke, Mir.
Thank you semua.
Yo.
Railing Mall.
Yo, Kai, thank you, Kai.
Thank you, Kai.
Complete a playlist strike, crucible match, or gambit match. Crucible, let's go.
Crucible sekui.
Ntar gua ke
tunggu
ke Lord Shax dulu gua.
Lol sex.
Ke Lol Shax.
Udah terus kemana nih? Akses the umbral decoder.
Anjir, tadi gua masuk quest.
Ke ini ever first.
Megangnya itu Seven Seraph Sikushi sama Inspiration, kagak damage gua langsung.
Ini Master Rahul kok jadi nge-sell eksotik begini?
Umbral decoder aja.
Exotic Cipher, what? Apa ini?
Umbral decoder di mana nih?
Oh ini sebelahnya drifter.
Iya, katalis GL-nya.
Dapat Gnawing Hunger dong.
Duit bagus nih.
Dapat Gnawing Hunger.
Inspiration coy.
Roll.
Wait.
Gnawing Hunger gue sangar nih rollnya nih.
Ini ada.
Oh. Ini yang buat nggak bisa leviathan spread.
Coba cek di sini.
Ariana gitu-gitu cuy.
Ini coba cek.
Bisa beli sekarang.
Bisa dibeli anjir sekarang.
Harus punya exotic cipher tapi. I don't know how to get it, but.
Ini buat.
Time to fight, Guardian.
Wah ini kemajuan sih. Ini. Wah untung komponen gua banyak sekali.
Wait, ritual weapon belum ada juga ya?
Belum.
Udah ada kayaknya.
Ini disuruh
nggak mungkin nggak ada cuy.
Hah?
energi ngapain ini?
Crucible.
Crucible skuy.
Ini gue mau crucible nih, lagi di tower.
Itu drifter, speak dulu.
Oke, ayo.
Lo di orbit, gas.
Belum, masih di tower. Wait.
Dead Ender coy. Siapa yang pernah pakai Dead Ender ya?
Gue pakai Dead Ender.
Komplit.
Kebansi dulu, Pak. Kebansi Pak Kos.
Dead Ender.
Ini gue di orbit nih, coy, kalau mau.
Oke.
Bantuin dulu, War.
OTW Pak, sabar.
Hah?
Kontak. Ada mau bantuin kontak dulu.
Bantuin mana?
Kontak
public event.
Belum.
Harus ya ke
ojek sekali.
Ambil
quest ya, gas.
Oh.
Mau nggak mau.
Oh ini.
Oh ayo bareng gua.
Ya sini aku udah di orbit.
Oke. Gue join dulu.
Ntar gue join
katalisnya. Oh ini katalisnya ya.
Goblok kenapa nggak sekalian ambil bounty aja tadi ya?
Iya makanya gue ke tower nih. Nih gue di tower kalau mau ngambil.
Gue udah jalan coy.
Ya.
Buset, gosnya keren amat.
Gos apaan?
Heartling Shell.
Tapi partnya ya.
Itu masuk match lo, gas.
Bukan, bantuin si Aris dulu gua.
Oh iya.
Di Rahul.
Oh iya, gue kan udah nyetok bounty, tinggal klik. Oke.
Hold fast helm.
Oh, nice.
Falling guillotine. Whirlwind cuy. Wah, keren ini. Swordnya. Legendary Whirlwind lagi.
Oh ya, ada lagi yang mau bareng nih.
Wither Horde Grenade Launcher.
Tunggu gas koin nama itu, Artil.
Gue lagi update.
Nah, tuh sama nunggu itu.
Si ini.
Ya, tinggal let's go.
Ntar, ambil bounty dulu.
Oh, ya udah.
Kenapa itu?
Kurang satu.
Wah, Ascendant Sword masih kepake ya. Last Bastion Cell anjing jelek banget.
Berdua ya bisa kali, Res.
Bisa.
Anjing.
Cuman bareng lain yang mau bareng gitu. Kalau nggak ada yang mau bareng mah ya udah gimana.
Gak ada yang
Cipher nih apa ya? Return it to Sur or Cryptopia to receive a reward.
Ini push rifle apaan? Call Denial, push rifle baru ya?
Yoi.
Yang belum bisa, gas.
Kenapa?
Oh, belum bisa ini katanya.
Itu?
Player do not. Udah ada questnya belum? Request progress to end. Oh, bukan. Salah, deng.
Udah nih, take the seat. Contact completed.
Salah itu malah apa?
Weekend mau cruci, mau trial. Cruci. Mumpung awal-awal itu justru momennya ini coy.
Emang trial ada?
Belum bisa lawan.
Weekend bapak.
Trial bakal stay around, seinget gua.
Weekend bapak diajaknya weekend.
Kenapa?
Joinnya pas aku udah di ayo.
Ini ada interference ini apa ya?
Mainin aja, Anda juga tahu.
Enggak, itu pakai season pass yang mungkin yang mau nyoba main. Ini gue join siapa nih? Cruci? Pak Warrior?
Ya, gue di orbit.
Oke.
Sabar, gue mau ngambil bonte.
Prom, udah lu Prom?
Udah, nungguin.
Iya, nggak ada ritual weapon ini.
Gak seru. Refund lah.
Refund lah. Udahlah, uninstall lah.
Gue pegang omongan lu.
Gue mah uninstall beneran gue uninstall lu. Kalau lu mah awas lu sampai enggak ya.
Gue gak masalah lah, gak ada ritual weapon.
Oh, jadi menurut lu sepenting itu lu langsung mati kerennya gara-gara lu berhenti main Destiny.
Iya.
We survive without you, cuy, sebelum ini.
Anjing.
Ada ghost yang jadi.
Kok Swarm of the Raven gue 750 anjing?
Mana gua tahu senjata-senjata lu.
Tahu, nanya kesini. Allah.
Lu goblok.
Gue nggak nyampe gitu ya. Pagi lama kampret.
Iya. Rifka. Tayuan mainannya bang, cah.
Dasar bapak-bapak ini ya.
Oh iya, Powerful Friend udah diganti ya.
Diganti apa Powerful Friend?
Sampai Cosmos saya udah name reveal cuy.
Yoi, Cosmos ada name reveal coy.
Siapa namanya Purwoto?
Kevin.
Nggak tahu, kayak males juga gue ngapalin namanya kos-kos aja.
Hai Kevin. Hai Kevin.
Ini jadi nggak Pak Kos?
Hah? Lah, Pak Wari nunggu gas koin.
Ada Miss Speronnya
Sabar dong, gimana sih lu?
Dari
jangan enggak Pak. Marah gas koin nanti jangan.
Paksa mau ikut.
Witherboard ini bagus loh, Witherboard sumpah dah.
Callisto Lancer, kapal keren juga nih.
Ya, lihat nih, besok Arms udah beli banyak
Banyak
barang nih dari Eververse nih.
Kok ada tulisan Get It Now sih?
Oh, sekarang yang Year One ada gambarnya.
Kan sebenarnya udah bisa pre-order tapi di Steam Store belum ada.
Oh.
Anjir, ini Feeding Frenzy nerfnya kerasa banget sih.
Arcturus Engine.
Nah, itu jadi swashbuckler itu.
Sama
Terus
Outlaw
5
juga.
kali.
Gas Outlaw Redrix, lu ngerasain deh ntar. Menurun.
Kena juga ya Redrix ya. Fuck.
Iya. Loh, tapi ntar dulu nih gue mau coba. Redrix kan bisa body shot sekarang.
Stop.
Satu body shot.
Overload di bow. Iya, let's go. Has. Hohoi.
Overload.
Ini kayak Gambit ya modenya gue.
Season of the Gambit.
Basically Gambit.
Dapat anarki gua uninstall lagi gamenya lah.
Ada lore baru dong, Silverwing berarti di tempatnya Traveler yang dulu tempat tinggal tumbuh Silverwing gitu katanya. Interesting.
The Machinoform.
Lore-nya juga menarik nih berarti.
Pest Poison
Ngambil apa ya? Anti barrier.
Udah bisa dipakai.
Anti barrier.
Nah, gas ada pulse driver reloader.
Anti barrier itu doang, auto doang ngebantu.
Tapi nggak nge-stack sama Outlaw nggak?
Semua nggak sih?
Ya,
anti barriernya?
Malah kayaknya tahu lah, gue coba aja nih.
Enggak. Auto doang itu.
Auto doang.
Itu loh overload di bow.
Matan top gua kok sticky grenade
iya
nih.
Refund.
Anti barrier. Saya
Warrior. Yo, siapa lagi ya yang mau join?
Bentar, kontak dulu ini. PE dulu.
Lu ngontek siapa?
Anjir, maksimal power sampai 1300.
Si harus taibat dari tadi anjing sober.
Mama lo.
Bacot anjing. Emang lu kontak udah harus?
Kontak apaan?
Dia aja kagak tahu anjing si PA.
Apaan misi?
Orang ini
ngapain coy, itu ntar aja, yang penting udah dapet itu dulu.
Artefak.
Anjir, ini
artefak
quiver sakit amat.
Mau beli Monte Carlo enggak ya?
Overload ada di sini.
Gua yang pasti bakal gua beli itu ya.
Anjir, kapalnya kayak di sini.
Anjir, Callisto Lancer keren cuy. Oh shit.
Di mana?
Iya kan gue bilang pesawatnya keren coy.
Aduh, boros nih, aduh.
Makanya
boros nih.
Anjir, pesawatnya asli.
Boros nih.
Oh anjir. Callisto Lancer. Bah.
Wah, Seven Seraph 1310 power cap. Wow.
Skipper Sling. Dungeonnya di mana di mapnya?
Belum keluar.
Dari tadi dikasih tahu goblok kan.
Kasar ya.
Recluse season ini terakhir.
Apa?
Fake Starabah meta.
Yoi.
Man, Tarabah coy.
Tarabah coy.
Spiration season ini terakhir.
Ganti dari promo.
Spiration juga ya.
Iya.
Lupa meledak.
Oke, berarti Waking Vigil season ini terakhir.
Weh, True Prophecy, untung ada saya ada True Prophecy.
Mindbender season ini terakhir.
Mampus, punya Mindbender.
Buang aja, buang. Revel Winter dulu.
Anjir, ini season of Arrival starter pack-nya yang paling keren emang cuman
Reckless Oracle season
ini
ini terakhir.
Ah, record kan masih ini.
Hero-nya doang anjir.
Last Hope, Last Hope masih lama.
Masih lama.
Mana sih Love and Death gue kapan terakhir? Ya Love and Death season ini dong.
Gak kira mati.
Ya sudahlah, nggak apa-apa, itu berarti kita disuruh berputar.
Kontak ngapain sih kontak?
Nelpon lah.
Bisa dibaca.
Belum selesai eventnya. Ya elah lama.
Terakhir ini.